Hello,
Hey,
hello.
hey.
Welcome back to Meta Munch Hour. What's up?
So you're welcoming them back again.
Yes, I almost said brother or bro, but then I stopped myself.
Chef. Call it.
I'm not gonna say a chef, bro. We're not like in, this isn't. Yes, chef. This isn't a fucking kitchen. This isn't.
It's not chef, it's chef.
Yeah, but nobody knows what that means except very few select people.
And then they will start wondering, and it will drive them crazy.
I'm not werewolf. I'm Inconsistency. This guy is werewolf. The guy laughing at me. Shit, bro.
I know you want to be me or like me, but come on, man.
We are right now in September, the beginning of. I say that because last time we recorded was about a month ago. So there's only like 2 small games, very small. Actually, 3. I'm sorry, 3 very small games that came out.
Yeah.
Since then. One of them is we won't even be talking about it. We won't be even talking about it today because it's such. We have so much to talk about. We won't even talk about this game specifically. It's Armored Core 6 came out from From Software, the guys who made Elden Ring, a very, very, very successful game that came last year. It's a Souls-like game, yeah?
Exactly. What I was going to say for whoever doesn't know, From Software usually makes... they made the Souls game. What was the full name of that thing?
Elden Ring, you mean? The last Elden Ring?
Souls, the original game.
Fuck. There's Demon Souls.
Demon Souls was that came later.
Yeah,
the
and
original was some Souls something.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember it because I'm just not a very...
Yeah, I'm not a Souls fan.
Exactly.
Anyway, so From Software are very famous for making Souls-like games, which is a name that started from the original game, which we don't remember the name. And that basically opened the door to a genre of games.
Dark
Souls, exactly.
Google didn't help me there. This is from the top of my pristine memory. It wasn't from Google, I swear. Anyways,
Yes.
Yeah, continue, sorry.
And the clicking in the background.
No, that was me. No, that was me looking at porn. Now listen. Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so they started a genre called Souls-like, which is based on Dark Souls, which are usually action games with bosses, but the thing is...
RPG action games, to be honest.
Doesn't have to be.
Oh, it's very RPG heavy, those games. Of course they are.
I think Sekiro is RPG.
Oh, Sekiro is different. Sekiro is like an outliner. Sekiro is like it's an outliner that's different from the other games, From Software games. But Dark Souls...
But it's also FromSoft.
Yes. It's the same. It's the same game. It's also the same Dark Souls mechanics of spawning.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I know. It's a Souls-like, but it's not RPG.
But I can tell you that the Souls-like games and Elden Ring specifically are extremely RPG heavy. They're like open world RPGs.
I'll accept that because, like I said, I haven't really played the game.
No, that's just from reading and watching reviews. I haven't played any of them myself.
Yeah. So we're talking too much about this.
Yes.
Souls-like games are action games where they are very, very challenging. Overcoming bosses and milestones in this game usually requires a lot of patience and repetition and getting good, because they are very, very, very difficult. And lots of controversy has also sprouted in the internet around people who asked why can't there be an easy difficulty, and whoever wants to challenge themselves can use we won't get into that.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a big subject. We can talk about it some other time. But to be honest, it's not a subject we're very well versed in. Anyways,
Anyway.
That's one of the big games that came out this year.
Yes.
The other 2, which were much bigger.
By the way, it's also a Souls-like?
Nope. Armored Core is not Souls-like, which means I might actually check it out. It is, but it's still extremely challenging.
I have no idea about this game, by the way.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's like a battle mech?
Yes, it's like a battle mech game where you have a mech which you can customize and upgrade.
A battle mech game where you have a mech?
Yes, and you have you fight shocking other mechs, and you like fly in the air with jetpacks. It's pretty fucking awesome. It's very vertical gameplay. It's not like only
I played pen and paper battle mech.
Did you? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty boring to play it with pen and paper, but the idea was very cool.
Okay, nice. That's cool. Anyways, so it's a very fast-paced game, and the Armored Core game, and it looks fun, but also again, and very challenging. It's not an easy
Single
game.
player?
Yeah, it's 100% single player game. They usually make single player games. Elden Ring is also a
Sure, but this kind of game can easily be competitive.
No, that's the thing about From Software. Much like Valerian Studios, which we'll be talking about. Larian, sorry. The guys who made Baldur's Gate 3. They what you see is what you get. There's no hidden mechanics. There's no battle passes. There's no monetization hiding somewhere to fuck you in the ass. There's no stores, nothing. It's just a complete product that you get for the money you pay.
Robert Kotick is listening to this podcast right now and spitting on the floor when you say these things.
I know. That bastard. I hope he gets...
Spitting on the floor.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So the other two games that came out since we last recorded are Baldur's Gate 3, as we said, which is we're going to be talking about it in a few moments. It's an amazing game. I've played it. I don't think you did.
Yeah, you are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I haven't played.
You can ask questions, of course, but I haven't. I don't want to.
No spoilers.
Exactly, no spoilers.
I will slap you.
I will not talk about spoilers. Trust me, I hate when people spoil stuff for me. There is zero chance you'll have me spoil anything about this game.
Spoil it, you must not.
No,
I
I'll be talking in general about graphics, animations, story. When I say story, I mean, is it good or not? Not like the particulars.
Big size.
The combat system, everything. But everything but spoilers. Don't worry about it. I won't even say the names of the characters that you might meet.
Wait. In Cyberpunk, in the character customization, you could control the size of your penis.
You can do this as well. In Baldur's Gate,
Yes.
yeah, you have 3 or 4 different variations of both dicks and vaginas. Yes.
I am making an impressed face.
Yes, it's impressive. I'm ashamed to say how long I've wasted choosing the perfect vagina.
Perfect vagina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
It does not exist.
One more game that's coming out. Very small game, probably the smallest of all of them. Yes. It's called Starfield, and it's already out on early fucking access, or not early access. Sorry, early release for people who pre-ordered it. Which of course, both of us don't do that shit. And
on all platforms.
I think so. Yeah. Yes. On all platforms. From what I know, yes. I know that it's locked to 30 FPS on the consoles, which is horrible. And
but hasn't this always been the case with consoles?
Well, today a lot of games are on 60 FPS. They managed to move on to 60 FPS, the latest generations of the consoles, and even before that. But every now and then a game comes out that apparently is so big and so technically complex that they have to put it on 30 FPS for whatever reason.
I will never get that.
I won't either, but I'm not a programmer.
Yeah, that's what I mean on the technical level. I mean, computers.
I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Computers, because there's so much variation in the systems, make producing a game that is well optimized for many computers is very challenging, because every other computer has a different setup.
Yeah.
When it's consoles, everybody has the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You only have to optimize your game for one system.
Yeah.
How is that making it so hard to make it more than 30 FPS? I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, talk to Bethesda. They are only one of the laziest fucking developers in the history of video games. I don't know why.
What an understatement.
Why do they get the pass? I don't know how they always get the pass. It's true though. They get the pass by the fans
You know
all
what
the
this
time.
reminds me? Have you watched the film Dread?
Yeah, of course. Great
with Carl Urban.
Also,
yeah?
no spoilers.
No, not Sylvester Stallone. Carl Urban.
Yeah, of course. That's the best one.
I don't think it's a spoiler. It's just it's an understatement. Just like when at the end, when that woman comes to him, it's like, what happened in there? And the guy was like, just another day in the office. Yes. He plays it like it was nothing.
Yeah, the whole movie was just another day, basically. Another day in the office.
Not even that. He was so nonchalant about it.
Yeah, even though him and his partner nearly died 1,000 times.
Yeah.
They killed 100 people. Yeah, it's a great movie.
The guy made him perfectly. I loved this character. Carl Urban, yes.
Yeah, he's a great actor, man.
I agree.
In The Boys, he's killing it. He's killing it.
But here he sold Dread so well. Which, by the way, I have to put it out there. Any developer that's listening, seriously, the groundwork has been made. Look at Cyberpunk. A Dread game.
Oh,
Imagine Cyberpunk, but you're playing a judge.
You know, there's the guys who made Terminator 2, the game. You remember Resistance?
Yeah.
So they have the license for RoboCop as well. And they're a game.
I'm sure they're going to do something good with it.
It's going to come out soon, pretty soon. I think it's this year coming out. I saw some videos of it. It's, I can't say it looks very impressive, but it could be interesting.
Terminator Resistance was not visually that impressive.
No, I'm not talking just visually.
Don't forget, we're talking about a AA game, yeah?
Yeah, of course. It's a small studio, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but then again, look what another AA studio made with Larian, right? They made Baldur's Gate 3, which has...
Larian isn't AA anymore.
They are AA, yeah. When they made Baldur's Gate 3, they won't be after this, after what the amazing success they're getting right now. But
even Baldur's Gate as well. The serious funds were spilled into this.
Not really, man. What funds?
Dude, they have like hundreds of hours of footage. That you think that's cheap?
No,
Who
funded it though? There's no huge company behind them.
No, but Divinity 1 and 2 were successful.
Yeah, they were successful, but these are small niche games, my friend. We're not talking about a successful franchise.
But they were low budget.
They're still...
So if you made good money on them, first of all, you can get seed money. That means you can get investors.
They started as a small independent company.
You don't know if maybe they got invested.
I'm not saying they didn't get investors. I'm sure they did.
So they got seed money?
Sure. But you can't compare that to projects of known franchises who get crazy amounts of budgets because you have a strong base to launch it from. You know what I mean? Because it's a known franchise that you can use to monetize.
Look, it's a wide spectrum. I'm not saying that they are at the top end of the AAA companies.
They're not AAA. They're factually not AAA. They might be after the success of Baldur's Gate, and they might increase the size of the studio and start working with a lot more
Let's put it this way, because this is a redundant argument.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3 is in no way a AA game.
It's a AA game, 100%. It's a AA game with the standards and production values of a AAA game.
So it's a AAA game?
No. It's a AA game with the production value of a
quality of a AAA game.
It's like an indie game that's extremely well made and looks like it's a lot more expensive than it really is. That's what happens here.
The talk online was about this being a standard for how games should look.
Yes,
this is a AAA quality game.
Because...
Doesn't matter if it was made by a AA company.
My friend, there are AAA developers, there are AA developers, and there are small indie developers. Yes. That's the categories. I didn't invent them. That's just how they are.
I am not contradicting
So
this.
I'm saying a AA company created a
AAA game
that has AAA values to it for sure.
We're saying the same thing.
Whatever. The game is fucking amazing. Okay? If you're listening to this podcast, if there's only one thing you get out of us rambling like old men, is that you should play Baldur's Gate 3 and you should play it right now.
Decrepit.
Yes. Play it right now. It's that good. Now listen to me. I didn't play any of the previous games, or rather I didn't like any of the previous games by this studio. I didn't like Divinity 1 and 2, and I tried them both. I bought and tried both of them and refunded them. Because I didn't connect with it at all. I
know, but it's a completely different...
Wait, let me finish. Now, when I heard that they are making, this is the same company that's making Baldur's Gate 3, it's still a niche genre of games, but it's a relatively big name, especially for the old guys like us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. We played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. We know that game. We were excited about the third game.
Yeah. I wanna. I'm not sure about the niche part here.
I mean,
when Baldur's Gate 1
in today's standards, yeah, it is
when
niche.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 came out, D&D was a niche. Today, D&D is not niche in any way.
True, but again...
Come on.
We're talking about the franchise.
D&D Beyond is pushing this game.
Yeah. I'm not...
So, you're getting a huge crowd. I don't think you can call that niche.
I think the game managed, because it's so good and because it got so much publicity from how good it is, from its quality and word to mouth and the reviews and people and the popular streamers and YouTubers, you see them play the game, it got so popular that it managed to take what used to be a relatively niche genre in D&D or in games. I'm not talking about
gaming, sure.
Yeah,
yes,
not in movies or TVs. I'm talking in games, okay?
Yes.
A CRPG, like a computer role-playing game, like Baldur's Gate, there's not many, I'd say, successful and extremely popular games like that today.
Agreed completely.
Yes.
All I'm saying is one of the outstanding positive points they say of this game is how well they implemented the 5th edition D&D.
Yes.
Like it properly feels like we're playing D&D.
Yes.
On all aspects.
You should probably tell the audience what your connection is to D&D, so they know you know what you're talking about.
I've been playing D&D since I was 6. This means more than 30 years. Back then, it's D&D 1st edition. It came in boxes. I got the red box, which is the beginner set, when I was 6.
And you DM to this day, right?
I am a player and a DM.
And a DM. So you know...
I'm active in basically two parties.
Would you say that you know the 5th edition pretty well?
I know it well. I'm not an expert. No.
So pretty well. I didn't say ask experts.
No, because we are old school players. Because we are old, one of our groups is playing 1st edition D&D.
Wow.
Yes. We're playing the immortal setting because we're playing forever. We're playing immortals now. But anyway, and the other party, which now plays in 5th edition, has for years played in 2nd edition, amended. That, we changed a few things for our...
Yeah, but you definitely have more knowledge than the average guy.
I know about D&D a lot.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just saying, specifically 5th edition, I have only been playing for the last couple of years.
Okay, yeah, but you still, again, even that is more than the average guy who plays this game probably. So
I don't know.
I think so, yeah. Hey, listen, I'm looking at me as an example. I played D&D off and on through the years, but nothing close to you guys' rate of play. And I didn't ever have like...
We play weekly, of course.
Yeah, and I can't compare myself. I can't say I remember any of the fucking rule sets or D&D, any of the... whatever you call it.
Anyway, we'll play off.
So what I'm saying
let me just say, so I was making a point and then we'll go back to you, that this is one of the points. They're saying this is such a good implementation of the 5th edition D&D that it's actually drawing players that even usually wouldn't play these kind of games, like you said. Because they play D&D and this is something they haven't encountered before.
Yes, and I'm one of those players. As someone who played the game, listen, just so you know, I'm only in Act 1 of the game. And there's 3 acts from what I know. And I'm only in Act 1. And I have 30 hours maybe into the game, which is not a lot at all.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of hours of gameplay. And I've restarted 3 times, as in re-rolled my character 3 times to try different characters because I didn't feel like the character I tried it didn't play out as I seen it in my mind, you know what I mean?
You know that you can change the character mid-game without starting.
I know you can change it mid-game, but I wanted to do, I don't know, I felt it doesn't feel natural for me. I wanted to make it more from the beginning, so it feels like the character is progressing.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's literally for role-playing reasons.
Yeah, role-playing immersion.
Exactly.
Getting connected to the story
and also it was great for giving a small review because it showed me the difference in how characters act towards you if you're a different race or a different class, and if you have different dialogue options because you're a different class, race, or different abilities. It's great.
This is exactly what made Baldur's Gate, the 1st and 2nd ones, great.
Yes.
The replayability was amazing.
Yes.
You'd play 2 different characters and the game was different.
And also, there's something very, very addicting about Baldur's Gate 3 in the way they implemented the dice roll system. It's amazing. It's so addicting, bro. Because you're seeing everything every time. Your friend better appreciate when he listens to this. You hear me, you bastard? I have to censor myself saying bro to my bro.
Supposed to be subtle.
Anyways, where was I? Damn you.
The dice system.
The dice system is great because you see an actual animation of a die getting thrown, and you see the number that you need to reach to get a success or a failure, right?
And it doesn't get tiring after 100 rolls?
No. First of all, you can skip it, skip the animations and make it faster. But there's always the tension element to it, which makes it from some reason it never gets old. It's really well done. And also you can add your bonuses to the rolls during that moment, before you roll it.
Get this. Imagine they release such a game with a mechanic where you can buy something with a USB that you connect to a computer, like a small camera or detector of some kind that you place on your desktop.
Oh my god!
And then you can roll.
And then you roll it.
You roll actual dice in front of it.
That's genius.
And it recognizes the results.
That's fucking genius. Yo, we need to. Wait. We copyright this. This is ours.
Is this game moddable?
Yeah.
Then you can do a mod for this for sure.
Oh,
all you need to do is
doesn't sound like a simple mod, bro.
I didn't say simple, but camera and image recognition, whatever you call it, for softwares that know how to process images.
We have at least one programmer.
All it has to do is identify numbers.
We have at least one programmer listening to us, to this podcast, so maybe,
So doable, man.
Hit me up.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Holy crap.
Man, playing this game with rolling actual dice.
That would be actually... I don't know how you could do that, because what about adding the...
Like I said, just a camera, it just needs to identify numbers. If we have cameras that identify the number of the car when you go into parking lots, it's super doable.
Yeah, but they have I imagine they have a whole... Again, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know for sure, but I imagine in the background they have a whole bunch of calculation being made in real time every time you roll it. So how do those calculation work when you do the rolling for it? You know what I mean?
What do you mean? The computer generates a number and then does a calculation on the number. Now, instead of generating the number, all it has to do is read the number from the camera, and then it does the calculation.
It's a very cool idea. I don't know how you'd implement it technically, but that's only because I'm not, I don't have those skills. But it is an absolutely amazing idea, and I hope someone listens to this and do it and give us the credit. Anyways,
and make a Dread game. Cyberpunk as a judge. I checked.
Cyberpunk is also moddable. It's completely.
Yeah, of course.
So you can add that to the game. You could do that. You could make an overhaul.
Dread mod. Yeah, sure.
An overhaul,
Listen. The Dread franchise. Who would you think? It's a comics, right? Who do you think it belongs to?
Why are we talking about Dread again? I want to finish talking about Baldur's Gate. I want to finish talking about Baldur's Gate 3.
Who would you think it belongs to?
What belongs to who?
Dread. Dread is a comics.
DC?
No, and not even Marvel. It's neither.
Vertigo?
It's neither. I don't even know what's the name of the company. It's some company I don't know. It's neither of them. That means that the license should be a lot easier to acquire.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyways, let me finish talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. Do you have any questions, by the way, about the game that you're curious about knowing that I haven't mentioned yet?
No.
Nothing about
I've read about it. I know about it.
Okay, so...
and I'm keeping my experience fresh on purpose. When I play it, I want to come to it like I know barely anything. Okay, yeah,
that's why I'm not even mentioning the story or spoiling anything. I will say that I spent a lot of time in the character creation, and I don't usually do that in games. I don't have the patience for that. But in this game, because it's so based on the 5th edition and there's so much choice and consequence to the things you choose, even in the character creation,
of course,
it makes it a lot more, there's a lot more stakes into it. So it makes it a lot more interesting to me to spend time and build the character. You know what I mean?
Yes. And plus, when you do it exactly the way you want, you get attached, and that's the point.
Yeah. So, but the game needs to make me want to do it, and most games do not do that to me. This one did it. So, on that, chapeau, as they say.
Kudos.
Yeah, kudos. Exactly. The game is fantastic. It has its problems. It's not perfect. It does have issues, but none of those issues are game breaking. None of those issues should stop you from playing it. And Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it. The combat system is extremely complex. There's so many stuff you can do. Just like in D&D, you can throw stuff. You can throw your own teammates at stuff. Yeah, it's great. You can light stuff on fire. Everything that you can think of. There's probably a way to do it. You can talk to animals. You can detect thoughts. You can lie to people, your own teammates. You can get them to fight each other. You can do crazy stuff in this. Just like in real D&D, it really is a game that manages to take the experience of a D&D session and make it feel almost like you're playing with a DM and friends, but it's not. It's a computer game with a cinematic qualities to it.
Which you can also do in the game. It has co-op.
Sorry? Yes, you can. Yes. Oh, I didn't even mention. I didn't play it yet. I might actually consider it, by the way. When you start playing it eventually, I might consider doing it.
I've had a few offers already of people who wanted to play me.
I want to finish it once.
Wanted me to play with them, and I told them exactly that.
Yeah.
I want to play it by myself first,
one time.
And then.
Exactly. That's what exactly I want to do. But it could be an amazing experience to play.
Sure.
Because it really feels like the tabletop experience, but you have these amazing, like I said, AAA quality to it. The cinematics are great. The music is absolutely amazing. Right from the beginning, right from the main menu, the music grabs you. That's another reason I didn't mind staying in the character creation for so long, because the music is so good.
Actually, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
What drove me up the ladder in the Larian games, the Divinity ones, was that you spend most of your time in menus. You go to the inventory all the time, and you move things around, and you have to organize it, and so much crafting, and so much, and the magic, and everything was maths. So many. I felt like it was a game in space management, and I just didn't have the patience for that.
Okay, first of all, I agree with you completely. I also lack the patience for that kind of stuff in games. If I spend too much time in inventory, something is not correct. Something is in the game design, in the pacing of it, is not working correctly.
Oh, it depends on the people.
Yeah, some people like it, enjoy it, but I don't.
Exactly.
It's not the reasons I play those games. That's what I'll say that, okay?
I mean, some games still have lots of inventory management. See Skyrim, for example. But over there,
you use mods that make it a lot easier.
Also,
and better.
of course, some mods that overhaul your inventory completely.
Yeah.
But that's just because Bethesda are really bad at doing these kinds of UIs.
I can tell.
But in Divinity, it was over the top.
Okay, so to answer your question, I'd say it's one of the small number of issues in the game. That's definitely one of them.
Okay.
As in, there is a bit of inventory management. Do I spend time doing it? Right now, not really. But the inventory management definitely could use some improvement. Is it as bad as you just described? No, it's not that bad. I don't feel
I'm sure, because you would not have survived.
No, it's not like that. I don't feel like I'm spending too much time in inventory. If I felt that, I'd say that. But
do you have crafting?
But it is not perfect. It is a bit annoying.
Do you have crafting?
Yes, there's craft.
Let me just say crafting
alchemy. There's alchemy. Not like I haven't seen like normal crafting just yet.
So I'm saying I'm not crafting like in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 where you'd find something and go to the dwarf for him to make it to you, because that's not crafting. Because that's like an item every 2 hours.
I literally cannot answer that question right now because I haven't reached crafting yet. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist in the game yet.
Okay.
But I do know there's alchemy, as in you can pick up herbs and make extract stuff from them and make potions, and it's very fast and very simple. Very simple. Crafting I haven't seen yet. I think there's an option that you can be like one of your background stories when you create the character. Oh, I should also say in the character creation there are pre-created characters that are basically the characters that you will meet during the game, the adventure. You can actually play every one of them and play their story if you want from the beginning. Do you know what I'm saying?
So if you play one of them, you don't meet them in the game?
No, you are them, and people react to you according to that. And you have their story. You can change their
What?
Yeah, you can change their class. I don't think you can change the race. I might be wrong. You might be able to change, but you can change your class and you can change all the stuff, but you can't change their story, the background story or...
But
stuff
come on,
like that.
changing the class might completely change the story of
Yeah,
the
so no, the class is not an issue. The race is an issue. The class is not an issue. They make it work. They make it work.
Interesting.
And it's very interesting. That's another thing. There's so much replayability to this game, and it's also so huge.
Look.
I'm like in the first act, and I have so much to do.
I think I finished Baldur's Gate 2 5 or 6 times.
So yeah,
5 or 6 playthroughs from start to finish.
wow, man.
These games have a lot of replayability.
Yeah, so this one has
A lot.
yeah, this one takes it to the next level, man. It really does. And
Glad to hear.
Yeah, and I haven't even said that there's those basically your companion characters that you can play if you want from the beginning. One of them, right?
Yeah.
Or you can start a completely custom character of your own, and then you choose basically a background story.
Yeah.
So one of those background stories is being a what's the word? I'm not sure what the word is. An
Trader?
Artisan, like someone who's good with crafting
Artisan.
stuff.
Yeah, artisan.
Artisan, sorry, yes. So you can, maybe if you choose that backstory, you actually gain access to crafting. I don't know. I haven't chosen it. Just saying it's an option there. So about the character creation, there's also an option called the Dark Urge, which is a special character that he created that you can play it, and it's not a companion. You'll never meet him in the game. You either play him or he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And if you play him, it has a pre-existing story, background story, like that. I won't say what it is, but I will say you can change everything else. You can change the class, the race, but the Dark Urge is like a special story that you can play and will dramatically affect your gameplay.
Dark Urge is his name?
Yes, you can change the name as well. It's Dark Urge, yeah. It's because you have a Dark Urge to kill and murder stuff every now and then. You don't know why. Very cool, man. The game is very cool. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because we have other subjects, but listen, I'm not a guy who usually play RPGs these days. I don't play these games like the classic RPGs like Baldur's Gate. I don't have the patience these days, I find. But because this game has so many cinematic and AAA qualities that make it feel like a BioWare, like almost like a BioWare old school game.
Like the classic
yes,
yes.
Like Mass Effect 2 or Dragon Age. One of those games, even more cinematic. And I don't know, the graphics are fantastic.
Man, Dragon Age 1 was fantastic.
Yes. I enjoyed all of them, I'll be honest. Yes, they had the issues. 2 and 3 had their issues.
I enjoyed all of them.
But I enjoyed all of them for sure.
I enjoyed all of them too, but the first one
is a classic. 100%. I think you're going to love this game. I think this game, Baldur's Gate 3, is tailor-made for someone like you and the company you keep, people who play with you, D&D.
I'm positive I will love this game.
Yes.
But I am a completionist.
I know. You got to finish Witcher 3 first, right?
Yeah.
How deep are you in it? Let's talk about it for a moment. We're done with Baldur's Gate 3.
That's what she asked.
We're moving on from Baldur's Gate. We said enough about it. I don't want to ruin anything. It's a 9.5 out of 10.
Exactly what I was about to say. You didn't give it a score.
A 9. It's either a 9 or 9.5. I don't want to give it a 9.5 yet because I'm too early in the game. I need to experience more of it. So right now I'm going to give it a solid 9. It's a 9 out of 10, and a 9 out of 10 is, for me, I'm a very critical guy. That's very high.
Yeah.
That's very high.
That's nice.
Yeah. Witcher 3. How deep are you in it right now?
I'm level 20.
I can't remember how the level systems in that game work. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, there's only 12 levels.
Okay, so I don't know how long the game is.
I mean, are you in what island are you in? What story?
The story starts in Velen.
Right.
And then...
without spoiling, by the way. Try not to spoil it.
No, I'm just saying locations. I started in Velen, and then now I'm in Novigrad.
Okay, okay. And how many quests from the other... Did you finish like a lot of stuff?
I did all the side stuff in Novigrad, basically.
Wow, that's a lot of it.
Yeah, I cleared like the map completely.
Damn!
And all kinds of stuff there, and found all kinds of things. And now I'm doing the main story there, which is with Triss. And I'm somewhere in the story.
So how many hours?
I'll tell you, because this is like a point you will probably remember. I just saw the Bard do the show.
Okay, yeah. So how many hours would you say did you put in it? Around. Not roughly, not exact, roughly.
I don't know, 30?
Oh, okay. And you feel like there's a lot more to do?
If I had to guess, I'd say I'm about at 60% of the game. Am I correct?
More or less, yeah. Maybe 50, maybe halfway there.
I have to say, it's nice.
Yeah,
But combat is meh.
I want to ask like a score, yeah.
So the combat is meh. The story is nice. The graphics, it's not... In today's standards, it's a bit...
Still very good graphics, even in today's standards.
I don't know, the character animations are not convincing.
Really?
I'm talking about...
Oh, the animations.
In the
not the
cinematics.
graphics, the animations.
In the cinematics.
Okay.
In cinematics. Then I'm not buying the human quality of it.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough.
Anyway. But come on, this game is what, 6 years old?
More than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Let's not be overly harsh. It was made almost 10 years ago.
The Witcher 3, no, that's the Witcher 1. The third
that
one.
That did not look like it made sense.
Release date.
Anyway, so the combat is there, but the story is nice. Side quests are in 2015, so 10 years.
10 years, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be harsh. 10 years ago, making this game, the graphics are great for its time.
Yes, 100%.
The story is nice. The voice acting is impressive. But I guess it's a hype or something because people have been saying it's like one of the greatest RPGs ever made or whatever they called it. I'm not so sure if it's the greatest RPG ever made. It's good. It's a good game. 8. Easy. It's a good game.
You know what, bro? Sorry, do you know what? Comrade?
Yes. Davarish?
I agree with you. I think it's an 8 out of 10. And I think that's a fantastic score. The game has a lot of issues, especially when it comes to combat. I agree with you. It's very clumsy and clunky. I don't like it.
By the way, something I liked in combat, I was fighting this werewolf. They regenerate.
Yeah.
He was kiting me.
Really?
He'd get to low health,
Okay.
run away, I'd chase him, his health would come back, and then when it got high, he would come back to fight me.
The AI of the enemies. Yeah.
He would actually kite me. I had to be smart to get him.
Yeah, Witcher 3 is interesting. It's a game that I'll never play again, probably. Because on one hand, I really, really enjoyed it while I played it. I was completely immersed in the world and the story, and I completely enjoyed it. But it also was a bit like a chore. I wanted to finish the stuff, and I wanted to just... At some point, I started getting a bit tired of it. It started to feel a bit too... The story is great. It's always fresh. But the side content and the combat eventually started to be a bit too... What's the word? Too repeated? Too...
Stale.
Stale, yeah. I still enjoyed myself a lot, and I would recommend the game for anyone to play at least once. But it's not a game I'll ever play again.
I understand that the combat doesn't really change anything. I mean, for example, you get loot and you craft gear and you improve your items. I'm not feeling any change,
How do you mean?
The combat is challenges the same amount
Yeah.
as I progress. It's like it's too tailor-made the way you find loot that just improves your character enough to keep the same level of combat.
Yeah. There's like
it doesn't feel like it really matters if I choose this sword or that sword or a bit more of this quality to that sword or a bit more of that. I don't know.
Do you...
Maybe I'm just good at choosing the right things.
Could be. Are you chasing the those treasure armors that you can get all the pieces?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. You're a completionist, so you're playing it your character is probably very strong right now, right?
It's a high level, I guess.
No, gear-wise as well, you probably have the best of everything, I imagine.
No, but you can't, because to craft a lot of them, you need the master craftsman, and you...
Did you get it yet?
So I only unlocked the sword master. The armor master is in Skellige.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I can't do it, and even if I get the recipes, and it doesn't matter because they are level locked.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. I haven't played it in some time.
Yeah, so they're level locked. I have a set of the Witcher set just because it looks good. The attributes on it were not great.
Yeah. I will say, do you also have the DLCs included in it?
I have the Game of the Year edition, so
you
I'm
should
guessing it does.
Yeah, the DLCs are really good. Like really good.
I wouldn't know.
That's the thing. You'll finish the main game, and then you'll have like many more hours of content in those DLCs.
Oh, I thought there was something that gets...
No, it's different storylines. I mean, one of them I think you can play during the main quest, but the other is like after. I think the other is the after the main quest. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%. I don't remember. I have played this game from a long time ago, but it is known. Witcher 3 is known to have some of the best expansions/DLCs from all of games, like Wine and I forgot the name of that expansion. It's considered one of the best. They're very good at expansions. The Cyberpunk expansion, Liberty City, looks very, very good as well. I hope it will make up for the horrible state that game launched in. But I don't want to talk about Cyberpunk right now. I want to talk about...
We actually never discussed Cyberpunk properly.
Well, I think we did in the very early podcast. Not in this year, but like in the early versions of the podcast many years ago. I think
I'm not sure.
We didn't?
But anyway...
We'll talk about
when the expansion comes out.
Yeah, there's a lot to say. I have a lot to say about Cyberpunk. Like,
we both do.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
This would actually be a game that we both played a lot of. So.
Yeah. So yeah, Witcher 3, I think you have a whole lot. Oh, by the way, last time I talked to you, you asked me, this is the last thing about Witcher 3 because I want to move on to the next topic. You asked me if you should invest time in playing the mini game.
The Gwent.
And
I was about to say. About that.
Okay, let me just ask you the question.
I have the answer for you. I know what you're gonna ask.
And I already
you
know
motherfucker. That's what I'm going to say.
I know from your reaction. I don't need to ask. I already know. I told you, yeah.
Fucking seeing people burn alive. No, fuck you. I'm playing Gwent.
I told you.
I went back to maps. I completed to get cards.
Yep.
To get all the cards and whatever.
Yep. That's how it goes, man. There's a reason they created a whole other game that's just Gwent.
I don't even like that game that much, and still it compels me to do it. I don't even like it that much. I don't think it's that amazing.
No.
I don't think there's lots of strategy.
No.
If the better cards you have, you're gonna win.
I mean, it does get more complex. The more cards you get, the more options there are.
I'm saying, but it very depends on the level of deck you have.
Yeah.
Because you play someone who will have all the rare cards, like The Witcher and Ciri, and come on, it's gonna fuck you no matter what you do.
They're doing something right. You got hooked, and I got hooked, and everyone I know got hooked on that fucking game.
Because it's a card collector, that's the problem.
It's done well.
I like the graphics on the cards. I like seeing the characters from the game in the cards. And this hooks you.
I also like rubbing it in after I win. Like having him actually rub it in, you know? I like that as well.
And there's some quests. I didn't see that option.
There's also quests. Well,
I didn't see that
Maybe
option.
You haven't done some quests connected to Gwent, to some quests that are connected to Gwent as well.
No, but I did, because the quests tell you to play people. You get cards for it. So of course I did them.
Yeah, so I remember...
I did the tournament, the high stakes tournament in...
But there's more, man. You're not even... I told you.
Sure, but
there's many more content.
In all the games in all the matches that I had in the tournament, I never had an option after the game to say, you're shit or something.
No, you can taunt them. I remember if they talk shit after the game, you can taunt them. I know for a fact that at least in one of those games I could taunt. Maybe it's like quest specific and you haven't reached it yet. I don't know. Anyways, overall it's a good game, you say.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's talk about Starfield. Early access. It's not early access, sorry. It's
pre-play.
Yeah, people who pre-ordered.
Pre-release, yes.
Yeah, people who pre-ordered it.
That's how that lie is called.
People who pre-ordered it, which is apparently by the Steam charts is a whole lot of them, get to play it like a few days earlier.
Look, I don't know how the game is, but the premise is
Skyrim in space.
Exactly, and this is being gamer. This niche kind of players has been the wet dream for a long time.
That's if you want to talk about,
and that's a wet dream that No Man's Sky was supposedly supposed to feel, and it didn't.
If you want to talk about something that is not niche, Skyrim is definitely not niche. That's a game that's so popular that they made a version of it for literally every gaming system in the world that I know of, including smart TVs and smart refrigerators and smart toasters. It's ridiculous. There's Skyrim, everything can run.
Wait. Skyrim was on consoles before Bethesda was bought by Xbox?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I have no idea, but I do know that you can play Skyrim pretty much everything you can play. In every possible console or PC, you can play the game.
Today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of
now
the most...
Bethesda is owned by Xbox.
Yeah, but it is, what I'm saying is it's one of the most popular franchises in the world, Skyrim. And
I should say, I got like 2,000 hours in the thing.
Oh, yeah. I know that a lot. Okay, let's get into it then, I guess. So, Starfield. The game is releasing from this day. We're dating it. It's right now. It's 4th of September. So in 2 days from now, the game actually releases. I'm not going to be playing it, at least not this year. I have enough on my plate with between Baldur's Gate and the next expansion of Cyberpunk. I feel like that will hold.
Are you kidding? A Bethesda game? I'm giving it a year.
A year to
patch.
That's the second part of why I'm not going to play it.
I'm giving it a year to patch.
Exactly.
Even Cyberpunk, I gave a year to patch.
Well, Cyberpunk was very smart of you to wait, but no one expected Cyberpunk to be disastrous.
These games are immersive for me.
But Bethesda games are disastrous.
I need a good experience. If they're too buggy, the immersion is broken, and then the game is fucked for me.
Yeah, not just for you.
I can't afford that.
Oh, I know.
That's why I wait.
That's what happened to me with Cyberpunk.
Exactly, and that's why I wait.
It ruined my first impression of the game forever. I'm hoping that Phantom Liberty, the expansion, will somehow save that because they're changing the core gameplay, plus adding the new expansion, right? Anyways, let's stay focused on Starfield. Bethesda are known, as we said earlier in the podcast, to be kind of, even though they make extremely ambitious games, with ambitious and huge worlds that you can explore and that are very immersive, all that is very true. And what?
And repetitive.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to be nice right now. Don't worry, I'll get to the shitting on them part. They make ambitious worlds, huge worlds that everyone wants to play. They make it immersive. The quest lines are interesting. Everything is cool. But they are known to have extremely buggy games, especially in the first year of launch. After launch, they rely a lot on the community to do the fixing for them with mods and stuff like that. And from what I understand, Starfield, at least for a Bethesda game, is one of their least buggy releases, bug-wise and performance-wise. It's better than their previous releases. That's not saying much, but still. Yeah. But still, it has the same old issues that are part of the creation engine, which is the engine which they made Skyrim with.
Yeah.
Starfield is the same engine, just an upgraded version of it, but it's the same engine. So it has the exact same shortcomings that Skyrim has. If that means a bunch of loading screens for everything that you do. You go into a store, loading screen. You come out of the store, loading screen. You fast travel to somewhere, loading screen. Everything you do has a loading screen, which is very primitive in today's standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not saying this is something that will ruin the experience for you or for me, because...
For me, it doesn't, because it segregates the game.
Sure.
I know when I'm going into a dungeon.
I can appreciate that explanation. I can appreciate that. But for a lot of people, like myself, it is a bit of immersion breaking.
Yeah.
And I thought that that's something that they'll fix in the many, many years this game has been in development. And Skyrim came out when? 2012 or something like that?
But bro, you're saying fix.
Bro. Colleague, comrade.
Tavarish. You're saying fix. What's to fix? You just said Skyrim was one of the most successful games in history.
Yeah, that's the
Why
claim.
fix? Apparently, this is not a game-breaking issue. People will enjoy the game even with all the loading screens you said. So should they really? Because changing the engines you develop games with is an expensive ordeal. Because you need to get a stable thing working before you can start dishing games out with it. So creating a whole new engine is very serious.
Of course, I know.
So they would need a very good reason to start developing a completely new engine.
Listen, I get what you're saying, all right? But we're talking about Bethesda, and after Microsoft bought them, or Xbox, as you say, Xbox, Microsoft, they have if you want to talk about funding, you said about BG3 that they had funding. They had like maybe 10% of the funding that Starfield had. Okay?
No, but this is not a question of if they have the money. They have the money. The question is if
they have the funds. They have the talent.
This is a corporation. It's not a question if they have the money. It's the question if they're going to get the value for this money. And the answer, of course, is no. Look at this in the corporate eyes. The game is super successful now. You're going to dump $1 billion into making a new engine for it to stay the same way successful?
I don't think you need to dump $1 billion.
I'm exaggerating on purpose.
I think that if they really wanted, they didn't have to build a whole new engine to fix some of the problems in this engine. They could just, patch those issues in the new engine as part of
I don't think it's that simple.
I didn't say it's simple, but they had so many years of development on this game, my friend. And it has so much funding and talent and people on it, working on it for years.
All these years of development were to developing the game, not improving the engine.
Listen, if the game visually would have looked like some amazing next level graphically, I'd say, okay, sure.
First of all, that's the engine. That's the engine. That's the whole part of it. The engine is how you display, run, and process the graphics.
But you can
wait.
You can upgrade it.
And like you said, the whole thing with these games is overreaching, thinking huge.
Yeah, I know.
Huge sprawling worlds and lots of complex things. So this thing takes lots of development time.
100%.
They're going big to begin with. And you want them to do extra?
I said in the beginning, before starting to shit on them, that they are extremely ambitious.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And you know what? I played Skyrim and finished it. And I played... what was before Skyrim? I forgot the name. Oblivion, and I finished it. And I even played Morrowind, and I finished it. So yeah, I may not be the biggest.
Wow, finishing Morrowind is
that was I had a lot more free time back then. I was a child.
We were children.
Yeah, but
Morrowind was long.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
and my point is that I'm not a hater. I'm not a Bethesda hater. Okay, I play their games and I do appreciate and like what they do. I don't replay them as frequently as other people do because I have a lot of issues with how lazy Bethesda are. It's annoying me. Okay, it's pissing me off. I'm sorry. They seem to always get this golden get out of jail free card when it comes to stuff that other developers would get a lot of shit for. You know what I mean?
Did they make anything that is not the Daggerfall series? The Elder Scrolls series?
The Fallout series.
Yeah, but it's the same kind. It's the same engine and the same point. It's just a different setting.
You asked if it's something...
No, different type of game.
Completely different type of game? Like, not an open world RPG game?
Yeah. Like, for example, they were not the developers, they were the publishers of all the Wolfenstein ones.
Maybe... Yeah, that's id.
But
software.
id made them, exactly.
Yes, exactly. That's a good question. Not in recent history. Maybe when they were, in the 80s or 90s when they were young company.
It's a place, Bethesda, in Israel. I'm not kidding. Go back.
Let's see, because they're a very old company, so they might have many. Look at this. I mean, come on. That's crazy.
Amiga
from 1986, bro.
Games for the Amiga.
That's crazy. Oh, I didn't know they were that old. Holy crap, man. The Terminator 2029 in 1992. Holy crap.
Wait. What game is that? Because there was a Terminator game I played then. It was fucking amazing.
And they are the developers. They are the actors. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, they made a whole bunch of other games.
Another Terminator.
A lot of Terminator. Yeah, they used to have the license, I guess. Yeah, let's see what else. They made I see some F-16 like simulations.
Tour bowling.
Magic and Mayhem, The Art of Magic. What's this? I don't even know, man. There it is. The Elder Scrolls Morrowind. That was in 2002?
Yeah. They had earlier ones.
Yeah, there was an early one. Daggerfall, right?
And something in between. Daggerfall was the second one.
So they made a whole bunch of other games, but the last decade, last decade and a half, they've been known to be making especially those games because they're the most successful games, right?
Oh, Oblivion. Oh, okay.
That's-
We don't know if originally.
Yeah, and you can see all.
No,
of
yeah,
the-
it was released for Xbox okay. So then, to begin with, it was on all platforms.
Yeah, and they made Fall. Oh, they made Rage. No, that's id Software. Sorry, that's id Software. Right. Anyways, as you can see, when they begin in the beginning, they were the guys who developed everything, and then they become a publisher. And you can see more increasingly as we go down the list of games, you see more and more different studios making the games, and Bethesda just publishing.
Yeah,
because they started focusing only on developing those big, huge open world RPG games like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Regarding Starfield, I personally, I don't feel the game has enough, and I was kind of hyped about it. I even remember telling you 1 or 2 podcasts ago that the upcoming previews of the game look good and got me a bit hyped up, if you remember, and I told you to check it out.
Yeah.
But now that the game is out and I've seen reviews for it from people I trust, and I read a bunch of reviews and I've seen a bunch of gameplay, I'm not very hyped for it anymore, and it looks just exactly like Skyrim in space, but a bit too much Skyrim in space. I expected something a bit more. However, that is not to say that the game is not good. I haven't played it, so I can't comment on if it's good or not. I'm just expressing my own personal grievances with Bethesda as a whole and with their games as a whole. And just like you, I think that people who will be patient gamers and wait for like a year from now would probably get a great game. A great complete game.
Yeah,
now,
I'm sold for sure.
Yeah.
Skyrim in space.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I can say about Starfield, mainly because I haven't played it yet, and you haven't either, and both of us are not planning on playing it anytime soon. But from everything I've seen in the reviews, people are not like, I haven't seen anyone who's saying, it's the best game of the year, it's absolutely amazing. I haven't seen anyone go that crazy yet. I've seen people say it's a great, great game. It's Skyrim in space. If you wanted Skyrim in space, you're gonna get exactly that.
I think people are getting what they want, which is the Skyrim in space.
It's not gonna
the same issues that are always there will be there. So you're gonna get all the videos of people showing all kinds of funny bugs and funny characters stuck in walls or the ground or running into each other while you're talking to them, or all kinds of funny bugs. This happens with every Bethesda game, but
it does.
Generally it will be successful. And
it will be very successful. I'm not even...
people are going to enjoy it.
We're not talking about how successful it's going to be. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
Sure.
Probably going to be the most... I'm going to bet that it's going to be the most successful Bethesda game ever, in my opinion.
Maybe.
Eventually, it's going to take some years, right, to surpass Skyrim.
No, but I think the space theme has more audience than the classic fantasy RPG.
Yeah, I'm one of those audiences. That's why I like futuristic settings more than fantasy, even though I love fantasy.
I think the general mainstream prefers the space stuff.
And yet, Baldur's Gate 3 kind of spoiled me. In a way, you know what I mean? Because, sorry for going back to that game, but I'm just comparing it to Starfield in a way. The animation, let's take the animation and the physical appearance of characters and compare them between Baldur's Gate and Starfield. 2 RPGs that came out in the same year, right?
But it's not fair.
Why not?
Because the emphasis in the Skyrim games was never the animations of the characters. This is not the focus.
Sure.
The focus was, look, their character development is not seen in any other game.
Sure. Listen, I'm not attacking their. It works for their universe. It works for their games.
Yeah.
But again, for me, and I imagine people like me who played Baldur's Gate and are not like super fans of Bethesda games. They like them, but they're not super fans of it.
Yeah.
I think they'll get spoiled like me, because the thing about Baldur's Gate is they recorded the people who make the voiceover for the characters.
Yeah.
They recorded them in booths, not just their voice. They also put
their appearance.
Yes, they also put a sensor suit on them, sensor suit, with a bunch of balls that are sensors, and they took their mocap, their motion capture, and put that into their character.
Yeah.
And they
to
did
make it more human-like.
Yes, and they did that to every single character in the game, even the most mundane
Yeah.
Secondary character that you talk to only once
Yeah.
was fully voice acted and fully mocapped, and it comes across so beautifully.
And it's not just how it comes across. The games will make or break on these things. Look, I will give you the counter example. Just thinking about this game makes me mad, bro.
Well, what
Andromeda.
Oh my god.
Okay?
You know I haven't played that shit, right?
Bro,
I avoided it like a plague.
I was playing it and I was looking at the characters talking. I was like, what is this crap? Did they have a second grader program these things? You have videos. There's a video I will never forget on YouTube called The Attack of the Asari Clones.
Oh my god.
Okay? Why? Because there's a point where you save like a colony of Asari or whatever, like the Asari Ark. I don't know if you know the story in Bethesda. It doesn't matter.
I know the
Where
original.
you bring into
Mass
the
Effect.
space station a whole lot of Asari. And you see them all walking down the corridor when you look at them, when you talk to someone. And every single character looks the same as the other. You have 1,000 Asari walking down the corridor and they all look exactly the same.
Because it is the same. It's the same model.
Exactly.
Because they're lazy.
I mean,
fucks.
how lazy can you be? Oh my god.
That's BioWare, man. They used to be.
That's BioWare Montreal.
It used to be one of the.
It's not the same as the classic BioWare. But it's not the
companies
classic BioWare, I'm sorry. BioWare Montreal is something else.
It doesn't matter. BioWare themselves, the main BioWare, they made Anthem. Alright? And Anthem is even worse than.
Sure, but that's
Andromeda.
the BioWare that was already purchased and
BioWare these days is another dead company.
Yes, because it was bought by EA.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what EA does. They buy a company, they chew it out, and they destroy it.
it's not exactly true. Not all companies. I mean, EA. Didn't we say that the EA is the lesser evil of all the corporations lately because they?
We're talking about monetization shit.
Yeah, but also look at the
Making single player games. That they started to go back to the right path.
Yeah.
But they've always been purchasing companies and then changing the way, you know, the soul of these companies works. And then these companies disappear.
I mean,
Studios, I mean, not companies.
yeah, I think it's also you also have to take the studios have to take some sort of accountability as well. It's not 100% just the publisher that buys you or whatever issue.
Bro, look at it. Sorry. Davarish, look at it empirically. Okay? BioWare released amazing games. They get bought by EA and the games become shit.
That's not exactly true. You started seeing BioWare starting to degrade in their quality.
After they were bought.
Not exactly, akhi. You need to let me finish my fucking thoughts. BioWare bought by
EA.
Microsoft. By EA, sorry. Okay. When was this? What year was this? In 2008.
Yeah?
Alright. So, what games have they done up until 2008 and after? Let's see. Let us see. Where's the games? Let me jump to the games part. 2000, acquisition, Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Mass Effect and Dragon Age, man, was under EA. Their biggest games, their biggest successes were under EA. So your whole point is not valid in this point. I think it depends also in the company itself. I'll give you another example that's under EA. There's the company who made Titanfall 1 and 2, and the other game, the multiplayer game we played, that used to be. Come on.
I know.
It's like a battle royale.
Yeah, I know. It's the tip of
Apex
Legends.
Legends. It's a good company. They're good, and they also made the two new Jedi.
Yes.
Jedi games, which are getting good reviews.
That's the Survivor and the other one.
Exactly. So, and this company is also under EA. So I think EA lately has started cultivating their single player games companies. I think BioWare literally got worse in time. I think some of their best writers left, the people who were...
But a lot of those writers left after the acquisition.
I mean, years after the acquisition. Like, I know that they fired one of their biggest writer, who's been there since the days of Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
And he got fired like in the last few months. So they're working on Dragon Age 4 right now. It's going to be such a disaster, this game. And then they're going to shut down.
Yeah.
If it comes out. It might not even come out. Because I don't know if you know, they also fired like 15% of their force. So things are not going good there in BioWare.
Anyway.
Yeah, things are not going good there. Now, anyways, my point was when I started...
I made the counterpoint basically by saying, you were saying the animations were very, very well made in this game. And yes. I said this makes the game. And I gave the counterpoint of Andromeda, which was total shit because the animations were crap.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to say is that when you compare, I know it's not a fair comparison, and I get your point, but I do want, it did kind of spoil me to see characters emote and have facial expressions, and the voiceover is absolutely fantastic in BG3. And then you see the animations and the facial expressions in Bethesda games, in Starfield, and it looks exactly like in Skyrim, those weird characters with huge eyes,
Yeah.
And it's funny, it works for their universe, but it kind of breaks my own personal immersion with their games. Yeah. It won't change the fact that I'll play the shit out of that game in a year from now. But still, that's my issue with it. I
just think that the games are aiming at different
I guess
objectives, basically.
That's
Baldur's
fair.
Gate is a heavily narrative game. The story is the main point of this. The story is everything. The backstories, like you said, and how people react to you. Yeah. The storyline is most of it. Because this is a storytelling game. It's a D&D game. D&D is a storytelling game.
True. That's true.
The Skyrim ones are not selling you the story. The story is minor in these games. You know, if you do only the story, you're not even seeing the game properly.
Yeah.
The whole point is the open world and the do whatever you want, the sandbox of it.
I heard that people say in some of the reviews of Starfield that the main story is less interesting than the side quests in this game.
That's the point. Yeah. The Skyrim games, the Bethesda games are always about the sandboxy part.
Yeah.
So they're selling you, the product is from the get-go, designed differently on purpose. The conversations are not the main point here. The main point here is looking at that mountain over there and saying, cool, I want to be at the top. And you'll go there.
Yeah, I know. I guess, yeah.
And you expect to fight shit on the way.
I think we talked about the fact that I usually prefer a bit more structured.
Yes, you don't play well in the sandbox.
I mean, listen, in a way, Baldur's Gate 3 has sandbox elements to it.
It has open world.
No.
I would separate open world and sandbox.
I wouldn't. No, it's not even open. It's not open world. I wouldn't consider it an open world game, but I would consider it. I think it gives you a lot of freedom to do a lot of stuff that you can. Just like in a real session, I said, if you can think about it, you can probably do it in any situation. What makes the game so amazing, and that has an aspect of it could overwhelm you. So many options could overwhelm you if you're not like with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And from some reason, I'm not getting overwhelmed. I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing what I want to do. Somehow it works.
Yeah.
In Starfield and Skyrim games, those games are so open. They allow you to do whatever you want as well. To go more in the way that you can go wherever you want. There is no structure. You can go do whatever quest you want, at what order you want, at any moment, at any time. And that kind of freedom, for me, is sometimes too much. I need some sort of... what's the words?
Structure.
Yeah, something to tell me, listen, this is now your best option or your next segment that you should go focus on. With freedom of doing other stuff on the way. You know? Yeah. That's how I like it. Now, one more thing I wanted to say about Starfield is, do you remember we talked about exclusivity or sponsorship issues with AMD? How they're blocking DLSS technologies from being in the game?
Yeah, you basically said that the fear of the community on the Reddits was that the same will be with Starfield, that because they had a partnership with AMD, they were saying that this will probably mean that the NVIDIA users will not be utilizing all the pluses of their amazing graphic cards.
Exactly.
And there was no, you said back when you spoke about it then, there was no confirmation or denial. They basically ignored this background
AMD
noises.
did, yeah.
AMD and Bethesda. No one reacted on it.
Bethesda didn't comment.
I said they ignored it completely.
Which is also kind of weird. But yeah, AMD denied or said didn't say anything and then denied. And now that the game...
and then denied not saying anything.
And then the game came out, or rather in not early access, like in people who pre-purchased it got early access a few days early to it. And people who scanned the files immediately see that there was no DLSS. All the fears were realized. There was no DLSS in it. And even though AMD said that nothing is stopping the Bethesda from adding DLSS to the game, that's what they said publicly a week ago.
So this does not contradict that's a stupid reaction.
Just blatant lie.
It's not a lie, but it's not contradicting the things people say. People say X is not in the game. They tell you it doesn't mean we can't add it later. Maybe, but it's still not in the game now.
But you can use their upscaling technology, FSR, which is, for now at least, much inferior to DLSS in upscaling and reconstruction of images.
Does that work with NVIDIA cards?
FSR, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's only AMD who's denying NVIDIA cards from using DLSS on games that they have sponsorship in. It's a dick move, okay? It's a dick move by AMD. It's hurting their image bad, and it's hurting gaming in general. But what's worse? Something worse happened ever since. Oh, by the way, you said very correctly that the GPUs are not utilized to their fullest capabilities in Starfield because of this.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct, because from people doing a bunch of benchmarks and bench tests of comparing Starfield run on an AMD GPU to a NVIDIA GPU, they see that the NVIDIA GPUs are not getting fully utilized and are underperforming compared to the AMD GPUs for no real good reason.
Wait, I need a clarification. Underperforming means that you are not doing as well as you should.
And also not being utilized fully.
That's not exactly underperforming. That's the clarification we wanted.
Yeah, okay.
You mean that they are basically not using all the resources available to them in this graphics card?
These cards are not being utilized to their maximum in the current version of Starfield out right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, a way to circumvent that, or go past that, is to add DLSS 2 or 3, which 3, if you remember, is a frame generator, which doubles your frames if you have a new card, a 470 and above. You can use DLSS 2 on 3, on the card you have, on a 30 family, and on a 20 family, So, a modder named Pure Dark, I think he's from Japan or Korea. I'm not sure.
Doesn't matter.
He made a mod. He's very talented. He made a DLSS, both DLSS 2 and 3 mods for Starfield, and he also made them in the past for Jedi Survivor, because that game also didn't have. And for other games. So he became very good at making that stuff, and so good, in fact, that he decided that he's going to block the mod, the DLSS mod, behind his Patreon that you have to pay for. And then, if that's not enough, he also added a DRM on top of the mod, which means it's like an anti-tampering
So
mechanic.
People can't. So one person won't pay his Patreon and then publish it.
Exactly. So the most people won't be able to use it unless they can crack it. So he basically. To his credit, he did release DLSS 2, which is just image. It's not going to double your FPS, but it will give you more FPS because it's still DLSS, right? So he did release DLSS for free, to his credit. DLSS 2, but he did lock DLSS 3, which is the frame generator, the big one, which makes the biggest, huge performance difference for people who use it. Behind his Patreon and DRM.
You're portraying this like it's a bad thing. The guy put hours, programmed something, he proved his worth with previous projects, and now he wants to be compensated for his work. What do you want?
Listen, I can see that side. I can understand that side. You're kind of playing the devil's advocate a bit here, but
I don't think it's a devil's advocate. The guys, we are in a capitalist society. This is legitimate.
Listen, the mod community has ever...
This company did not deem it worthy to put DLSS 2 or 3 in their game. He is doing you a favor. You want to utilize your thing with the game you like, even though the company is pissing all over you in an arc? Okay, I'll make it happen for you. But you're going to have to pay me $1. Come on, it's a Patreon. How much is it charging? $5?
5 or 10, yeah.
Come on, that's nothing.
I disagree. I'm going to disagree with you on that for a few reasons. But I do understand. I do understand what you're saying. I think if he'd go about it in a different way, if he'd say, okay, like put a donate button, right? Something like that, and maybe make some sort of
maybe he tried that last time and it doesn't work.
I doubt that, because people are usually pretty generous. There's a reason the modding community...
Based on what?
Hang on. I'm telling you based on what. Based on years upon years upon years of history of the modding community in a vast number of games. If mods wouldn't be free and accessible to the most majority of people, you wouldn't have amazing games like Counter-Strike to this day, or Dota 2. Because those games came out of mods. Free mods. Made on games.
That does not prove that people donated, that a lot of people donate. You said most.
I'm saying that the modding community has lived for many decades without having to paywall them.
Lots of these people do these things out of passion.
And many of them get picked up by those companies and stop working for them because they're so talented.
But maybe he doesn't want to be associated with the company.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. But why lock it behind your Patreon and then put the DRM on it? I mean,
so people don't.
I don't know. It becomes a bit too, in my opinion, too egregious. It's a bit too. I don't know. I mean, it's too aggressive. You know what I mean? You're supposed to. Mods are something, especially in a game that it's such a huge difference. You know, it's such a huge difference in performance. It doubles people's FPS. You know what I mean? I don't know. I see something a bit cynical about putting it behind the paywall. I do.
But there's nothing cynical about a company charging thousands of dollars for drugs that would save your life. We are in a capitalist world.
That's why, yeah, but that has nothing to do. That's a different subject. Come on, don't connect one thing to the other.
I'm showing extremes on purpose. The point is, the man needs to make money to live.
Yeah, you need to make money, but you don't need to be greedy about it. Greed is...
Greedy? But by charging only for the DLS 3?
Yeah, but the thing is that you need to understand, when you lock your shit behind a money wall and a DRM, it makes it a lot harder every time there's an update for the game to get it again. You probably need to pay again to do that.
No, then it would be scummy. If you have to pay for every update for his mod, I would agree. But I don't think he does that.
I'm pretty sure he does that.
You have to prove it.
I can't prove it right now, so I won't press the issue. But I read that it's something that's an issue right now. That we won't know until there's an update, right? And we'll see if he allows people who already paid for it to use it or not. Also, we need to remember the game hasn't been released officially yet. There is a small chance, I say a very small chance, but still a chance that by the time it's actually released, Bethesda will update, a day one patch or something. It's almost there's always a day one patch these days, and maybe an official driver by Nvidia. Those two things might improve performance for the game a lot, and maybe make the need of DLSS 3 and 2 less critical. However, we need to remember that DLSS 2 also makes the image actually look better and cleaner than native in many games. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man.
And he gave it to you for free. He put in a lot of work that he is not charging for. He's only charging for something very specific.
But he's not... Okay, so to counter your point, he's not the only person in the world who can do that, because a few days ago it was known that it was published that someone already cracked his DRM, and now there's already a way to get it for free. Okay, I'm not going to talk about how, but if you want to find a way to get it free, you can. I don't like this. I don't like the fact that modders are fighting each other now, because
they're not fighting each other.
Another modder did that to him. So there's modders who don't agree with it, with what he's doing. Other modders from his own community who don't agree with
you
him.
found an opinion in the world that someone else doesn't agree with?
Just saying, what he's doing is something that doesn't...
The fact that they're both mothers means nothing. Dude, you're making arguments that have no validity. So what? So someone else did not agree with him and decided to
Yeah, because
teach him a lesson.
It's like...
Doesn't mean anything.
Listen, man, there are like unwritten rules in every society, in every club, in every friend groups.
Yeah, those unwritten rules are called morals, and that thing is very, very, very fluid between people. Very. There is no good definition for morality.
So in your opinion, he is completely justified in doing what he's doing, in your opinion?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is one of those rare subjects we'll have to agree to disagree on.
I guess.
I mean, I get why he's doing it, but I don't know. I see it as a bit scummy and greedy because he's gate-locking a technology which should be available, and the only
What do you
reason...
mean should be available? This is not a life-saving thing. This is a quality of life. You have a game that runs well, and you want it to run better or look better. For the look better, he gives you it.
It doesn't run very well. Maybe you didn't... I didn't mention that. It doesn't run very well. And not in NVIDIA cards anyways. It might run better once the patch and...
Doesn't matter, even if it
drivers
doesn't
come
run
up.
well. So the company is doing a bad job and you're mad at the person who gives you an option for a fix?
I'm only mad when he gate locks it and puts a goddamn DRM on it.
No,
yeah.
only a very
I mean, it's
portion.
something... Why hasn't this been done before? Why? Why hasn't no one before done something like this? Why did he decide to do this? And people, and it's okay.
First of all, why do you think it's not been done before? Maybe it was done, but you didn't hear about it because it wasn't a mod that it was as big as this.
Because this is, it's not even, to call it a mod is not even correct because it's like an essential option.
No, sorry, not essential.
That should be in your game.
Not
in the first
essential.
place.
People without 4070 play the game.
Of course, but...
DLSS 3 is for 4070 cards.
Yeah, but DLSS 2...
For the 40 family cards.
DLSS 2 is...
He gave you for free. So he only gate-locked something that is specific for only the last generation of video cards for NVIDIA. Which people who have them are people who are paying money to have the top-end computers.
But you're looking at it on only case-by-case basis. You're looking only at this. You're not looking at what could happen from this. He sets a precedent, a bad precedent in the modern community.
Why is it bad? He's telling you, look,
because people
I am giving you a mod that improves the way the game looks, but for the really premium improvement, you're going to have to give me a few bucks. What's the problem? He gave you a lot for free and told you the last bit, the cherry on top, that one's going to cost you. You don't have to do it, and it's not essential as you put it.
You know what? I haven't thought about it that way. I haven't thought about that. That's in that specific way.
If there was a game-breaking bug and he'd sell you a mod that fixes it, I'd say, nah, that's scummy. Because that's essential, like you said. You can't play the game without it. You can definitely play the game without DLSS 3.
You can, but it will hurt your performance.
What do you mean you hurt? Anyone who doesn't have a 40 generation card can't even play with DLSS 3, even if he wants to. And you're going to tell me that majority has a 40 generation card? So come on.
Of course not. All right, I'll concede this point to you. Maybe you have some sort of I don't like it. I still don't like it because I think it opens up a whole bunch of can of worms when it comes to the modding community.
Bethesda opened that can of worms when they tried to charge for mods.
Yeah, but when your own community, the own modding community is trying to charge out from the gaming community, I mean, why pile on? It's already such a greedy space. Why pile on it? Never mind, but whatever. Sure, you make sense. He gave the DLSS 2 one for free. I look at it to the future. I think it starts like this. Now it's only DLSS 3. The next game is going to be DLSS 2 as well. Next game is going to be something else. This is how it starts. And I don't want to see it happen. But I do concede your point that he does need to make money for his hard work. And he does only for the minority of people who have the latest hardware. You're right about that.
To what you said, I'll only say this. You're saying that you don't like it because other people are gonna make it. However bad it gets, bottom line is this is how economy works. If people pay for it, then he has a reason to do it.
That's for gambling,
If he does it too much, people won't pay for it, and then he won't make money and he will relax.
Yeah.
The supply and demand will determine how this goes.
All right, let's move on to the next subject. I think we concluded that one pretty well. Which one of those do you think, because I don't think we have time to talk about all of them. We'll maybe skip them over to the next pod, but which one of these do you...
Well, this CS2 will remain relevant even in the next
Yeah, sure, for sure. Yeah, CS2,
and
by the way...
You know what, maybe then we'll have more experience. I mean, now we've played for less than a week.
Yeah, Counter-Strike, let's just talk about it for a few minutes. The Counter-Strike 2, the stress test /beta...
Which by 2... I have to say, it's basically Counter-Strike Go, same map, same engine, just
No, it's not the same engine. The engine is the engine is upgraded completely. It's
upgraded, so the graphics look better, but the game looks or feels the same. It's the same game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on. They were a winning formula. You don't completely change it.
Just saying.
It does feel different in minor stuff, you know. It's very subtle. The differences are subtle, but they are there. And the more you play, the more you notice.
Sure, I'd call it CS:GO Plus and not CS2.
I mean,
it's like saying Go Overwatch 2.
I will say
it's the same kind of stupidity.
It's impressive how graphically upgraded it looks in one way, and yet extremely the same on the other. You know, the lighting is a lot better. The water, the smoke grenade looks amazing. Fire looks much better. Everything looks much better. The visibility is better for me personally.
Yes.
I see targets better now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
for decrepit old men like us, this is a good.
This is important. Yes. Yeah, we're old men. And also, I say the game, barring your personal issue, the game runs pretty well. Like both from connection-wise, the servers seem very, very, very stable. And from performance-wise,
we're diving into the game.
Yeah, okay, so that's all we say about it because we feel like we haven't.
We will discuss this next time.
Yeah, we want to play it more. Yeah, we'll have a whole month of grinding this game now. So hopefully, I don't know if they'll close I don't know if they might close the beta eventually. I guess. So I don't know. But,
we'll see.
Yeah. So what did you want to talk about other than that?
Well, you told me that Marvel Snap came out from early access on PC.
Yeah, on PC. Yeah.
And you basically asked me if anything changed in the game because you ran into a bunch of bad reviews and people complaining online that it became pay to win.
Only in the newest reviews that came since it came out.
They said something changed recently and this thing became pay to win. Well, I can say that I don't feel that anything changed drastically in the game.
Did you play on PC or on your mobile?
No, on the mobile, but it's supposed to be the same.
Is it though? Is it the same exactly the same economy? Everything is the same?
As far as I understood, yes.
Okay, all right.
As far as it's the same. It's exactly the same, just like with Hearthstone. You had your PC software or the mobile, but it's the same. You connect to the same game. It's just
to those who hasn't listened to our podcast where we talked about Marvel Snap, can you give a very small description of what
it's a card collection game where you play competitively against other players. You have a ladder, game mechanics.
So like Hearthstone.
Cards. If you know Hearthstone, it's very, very similar in spirit to Hearthstone. Marvel Snap is about Marvel characters, the comics characters, and Hearthstone was the World of Warcraft.
Listen to he gives a more thorough review in one of our earlier podcasts. Check it out. Okay, so since then the game came out on PC out of early access. It was an early access to this day, right? And so what's different, if anything at all?
Like I said, I didn't feel like anything changed drastically. So instead, I will try to give a few points that explain why I think this game is still
worth playing.
Not just worth playing. I think the monetization is okay. Fair? Yeah, it's fair.
So did you see some of the reviews that said that it's predatory and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've read all kinds of reviews that say it's predatory, which to them I will just ask, are you serious? Have you seen the mobile games out there? I mean, you got like all these gacha games and pay-to-win games, like actually pay-to-win games, like all Vikings or whatever it was called.
I don't play mobile games, man.
Exactly. There were some games that will seriously drain your money, that are based on finding whales that will keep the game. They keep the economy of the game, basically. Marvel Snap is very rewarding for people who don't spend money. I did not spend a dime on this game until now, not a dime. And I've played, and I unlocked lots of things. I get the bundles are 99% cosmetic. 99%. And the rare cases where you can pay a bundle that gives you a new card, it's usually something that you can get in the battle pass or something like that. And even if not, you can get it later. It just means you won't have it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, since the competitive ladder in this game is well made. So, if you paid, you spent money, so you have all the cards and all the things. So you can build any meta, any game, any deck, deck of the different decks that you can play, different mechanics, basically. So you will have a very competitive deck, and then you will go up in the ladder and meet people that have decks like yours.
Right. So it puts you against other people who paid money, right?
Who have this level of deck.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
So it's hard to call it pay to win, because you will be pitted against people who have the same advantage in semicolons.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so you see you didn't find anything different since last time you played. Everything seems the same, even in the PC version.
This point is important. I've also read this in one of the counter reviews there.
Okay.
With a guy, which I'm sorry, I didn't write down his name.
Doesn't matter.
To credit him.
It doesn't matter.
But he claimed in his review that he, in Hearthstone, he was a veteran Hearthstone player. He said that he reached 100 legend in Hearthstone many times. He was a competitive player. And in Marvel Snap he plays now, and he's reached legend, or I don't know, don't remember the rankings in Marvel Snap, but he reached the highest ranks as well. And he said, in Hearthstone, to stay competitive, every new season you had to spend hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, that's
to stay
true.
competitive.
That's 100% true.
You had to spend hundreds of dollars to get
Yeah.
the right cards that you need to stay competitive, to reach the highest levels.
Yeah, Hearthstone is very greedy. Very fucking greedy.
He said this game, you do not need to spend a cent to stay competitive. You can stay competitive in for free. You just have to put in more time instead.
Well, that's great news, because guess what? I uninstalled this week. Finally, I uninstalled Hearthstone from my computer and from my mobile. I'm fed up with this game.
I'm happy for you.
I played it for so many years. It's about time. And I took breaks from it in the past, but I'm so over Blizzard, man. I'm so over them. The only game left that I play now of them. Oh, I didn't.
Of theirs, yeah.
Of theirs, is Heroes of the Storm. That's the last bastion, and that's a dead game. So I'm basically playing
they're not developing it anymore.
No, they're not. I'm playing a dead game, basically. And the only reason I'm playing it is because I'm just so used to it. That's it. Eventually, I'm going to give up in it as well, because everything that used to be so great about Blizzard is gone. All the soul, all the... You used to feel like Blizzard made games for fun, that are fun to play because they play them. They played games that they would want to play. They make games that they would want to play.
Yeah.
And sometime after Kotick got in there, didn't happen immediately. The decay took some years.
Yeah.
But you saw some small telltale signs of it over the years.
Like the people who started the Blizzard living.
Yes, exactly. Tickling away one by one, like rats running from the sinking ship.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened, man. And Yeah, I removed Diablo 4 from my computer as well.
We're gonna get to Diablo 4. I wanted to ask you if the game you finally gave up on it.
Yeah, I did. I finally
But,
gave up on it.
I will just sum up.
Which is very fast for a Diablo game. Very fast.
Of course.
Extremely fast.
Of course.
And I'm not the only one, by the way. I know a bunch of friends who gave up on it. Stop playing it. Including Nate. I haven't seen Nate play the game, if he's listening. And now that CS2 is out, no way he's touching that shit. Yeah. So
I agree. I understand.
yeah,
People are,
they lost everything, man. They lost everything that made them special. And I don't know. I feel the only reason I keep playing their games is literally denial.
Yeah.
Like denying that a really close friend died or something.
Yeah.
In a way, it's funny to talk like this.
You remember them fondly, and this always wins when you consider buying their new games, basically.
Yeah, it's so sad. They used to be...
But a lot of these companies, that's what they
Bioware as well.
work
because,
on,
yeah.
on your sweet memories.
Yeah. There's a very famous video on YouTube that shows an ex-Blizzard North developer. He worked on Diablo 2, I think, and a bit on Diablo 3 before he left. And he just says it in a very matter-of-factly way. People who know this clip know it. It's almost like a meme these days after Diablo 4, but he's talking about how everyone who made the games we love in Blizzard left a while ago, and now Blizzard is basically a rotting carcass, which is milking every little bit of nostalgia out of their franchises. Extremely successful.
Every little bit of goodwill left in its customers.
In the most cynical way possible to get every little bit of juice out of it before it turns into mobile or
which is what corporations do.
Yeah, and no, but in
or Activision
with Blizzard,
specifically.
with Blizzard, I felt like there were a few years where things still looked kosher, but you saw telltale signs of like a real life auction house in Diablo 3. What?
Yeah, because
that
Activision was squeezing it, but it takes time until the tears
there
show
were
up.
cracks, and then like 4 or 5 years ago, the dam cracked.
Yeah.
And the flood came in, and Bobby Kotick showed his true face, and like everything.
Horny face.
Yeah, and now everything turned to shit. There is literally every month, every 2 weeks, there is a story about Blizzard fucking up in some way, shape, or form. It's remarkable. It's absolutely amazing. Used to be the best gaming company in the world, bar none. No one came close to them in the quality of their games and in the dedication and passion to the games. And now it's just
you have the Cosby Suite.
Just a money making sexual harassment lawsuit.
Bro culture. Not paying its employees.
Yeah.
Shitting over its customers.
Exactly.
Dying company.
So Diablo 4, let me just say, and we'll end with this, I think.
I'm not done with Marvel Snap, bitch.
Oh, you're not? I thought you were. Okay.
No, you kept butting in.
Did I? Sorry. Okay, shit. My bad. I thought you were. Okay.
I was gonna sum up and say that we're not gonna discuss the game because we did this in a previous podcast.
Yeah.
But basically, if you don't need to spend money to stay competitive, if they dish out constant updates, constant balancing, they change cards all the time, tweaking it up and down as they see the meta flowing, like you expect. If the bundles are, for the huge most part, cosmetic, most of the money they charge is for cosmetic, for variants of cards you like, to them look differently. Okay? Different art, basically. And the ladder tiers and deck levels are both balanced, so you get people with your deck level, and you get people with your skill. Why not play it?
You convinced me. I'm definitely going to play it. Now that I have no Hearthstone to worry about.
I definitely try it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to try it. Now that it's out, listen, now that it's out on PC, out of release,
it's worth a try.
Early release, and it's free to play, I have no reason not to try it.
If you don't think you have a personality that gets hooked on spending money for no reason in games, then yeah, try it.
How do they make money though?
Because people like this cosmetic shit. Come on.
But you played... How many hours do you think you've invested in that game? I mean, come on.
I didn't play a lot. Because I told you, I play it, half looking at it on the iPad when I watch the kids.
Yeah, but you did invest like...
I'm not competitive about it. Not in the least.
Okay. Well, all right. So is that it? Everything you have to say?
Yeah,
about it?
that's
Okay.
it.
So I'll just finish off about Diablo 4, about my rant before.
Finish off sounds like
yeah.
you're gonna come on its face.
I feel like they do on mine all the time, Blizzard, on the gaming community's face. It's so ugly. I need to wipe it.
We need to rate this podcast out.
Yeah, all our podcasts are rated R. Anyways, Diablo 4 can suck my dick for sure. I'll tell you why.
Fuck, please.
I'll tell you why.
Activision Blizzard.
It's at some point you play. You know what's the difference between Diablo 4 and Diablo? All the previous Diablos. You know what's the main difference?
The huge boner that you have to suck to play to swallow.
No, the huge difference is those games have 3 previous games have a soul to them, and even Diablo 3, shockingly enough, and Diablo 4 is a soulless, grindy loop mechanic that
Only in the end game.
tries to addict you to the, which it should do, to the gaming loop, of going about doing your dungeons and end game activities, quests, whatever the fuck.
Uh-huh.
But it does it in such a poorly disguised way. Most games can disguise it, in a good way. The previous Diablos did it very well.
Yeah.
This Diablo doesn't do that. After you play it for a while, eventually it's once you finish the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
After you finish I said and I still say that the campaign is fun. It's worth playing the game for the campaign and only for the campaign.
Yeah.
The end game, which is the main meat of the whole fucking game, is so repetitive, so dull, so soulless, and so bare bones. I'm shocked that they worked so many years on this game because it has nothing. And it's so restrictive. You feel like if you want to try a different build, you should set the whole afternoon for that shit. Because it's that complicated. It's so time consuming. Why? It's a game that's supposed to make you want to test different builds.
What?
Yes, Baldur's Gate 3 makes you want to test different builds. That's a game.
No, that I understand. You said, why does it make everything take so much time? What do you mean? So they can sell you time savers and so they keep you engaged.
Listen, you know what's really amazing and
Hate
shocking?
that word.
You know what's shocking about this? I'm not even talking about the monetization. I'm not even talking about all the scummy shit. I'm talking about the actual gameplay.
But the gameplay is supposed to railroad you into spending money.
Yeah, but listen, it's so weird. The game is so snappy and feels so good. But again, once you see through the thin veneer of bullshit, you can it's just such a boring, repetitive, shitty game. And it breaks my heart to say it, man. I removed it from my computer. There's only one last game that left on my computer that's Blizzard game, and I'm probably not gonna stay with it for much longer. I'll be honest, and that's Heroes of the Storm. I told you, and that's it, man. No more Blizzard for me, man. I'm done with it.
The only told you here is the I told you.
Listen, I've never denied anything that you said about Blizzard. I've never protected them or anything like that. I'm another victim of their fucking nostalgia, right?
You're a victim of your nostalgia.
Whatever.
You're not listening to me when I'm telling you they are not worth a cent.
You're the exception here, not me. Many millions of people like me are in the same fucking place.
Yes, all of you should listen to me.
And on that note, I think we can call it. Yeah, Diablo 4, you guys, if you somehow play the game, maybe you got it for free if you get like a new GPU. Sometimes they give you a free copy of a game. If you get the game for free, play it, enjoy the campaign and a little bit of the end game until it gets repetitive, and then just leave. It's not worth it.
At least it doesn't burn your graphics card. What was that game that came out that burned graphic cards?
Oh, I don't remember. Was it StarCraft 2? in the early days of StarCraft 2, I think it had a map that burned.
No. This is old. I'm talking. There was something recent about Nvidia cards melting when you played the game.
I don't remember what. I remember something like that, but I don't remember which game it was.
So at least you don't have that in Starfield. That's a plus.
In Starfield, no, you don't have. Not even in Diablo, you don't have that. But it did melt my brain, that's for sure, and not in a good way.
Okay, so next month we'll tell you about CS2.
Yeah, we'll talk about CS2.
Beta testing.
Yeah, we'll talk about CS2 a lot next
sure,
month.
And maybe some other stuff.
Yeah.
This is Meta Munch Hour out.
Yeah, I'm Inconsistency.
Werewolf.
See ya.